Hi everyone, my name is Alicia Salcido. Welcome to my Week 3 multimedia discussion for MPA 594, A Change in Public Sector. In this presentation, I'm going to review the scenario for a change in a public sector, the different themes to help that change move into process. The first theme is organization, second theme is motivation, third theme is efficiency, and then we'll review our conclusion. For our scenario, we want to establish a standardized caseload process for the County of Riverside Department of Public Social Services. And the purpose of creating a standardized caseload model is so when each worker is working on a case, they can select any case from any office because the procedures and processes should be the same for everyone. Currently, there's no standardized process, but hopefully with this new setup, it will stimulate progression and efficiency within the County of Riverside. In order to have the change within the County of Riverside to implement this standardized caseload process, we need to have organization, motivation, and efficiency in order for this process to work. For our first theme, we have organization. And organization is going to help the Department of Public Social Services standardize the caseload processing for all workers. And this is going to work as we have Taylor, who's using scientific management, the one best way. And in the scientific management, we're focusing at a top-down approach. So we're going to primarily focus on our managers. And our managers are very important in this process because they are the ones who's going to implement the change and ensure that the change is being done. When our managers are doing this, they're looking at the type of labor or work that's needed to be implemented. They're guiding the workers what should be done and, making sure that this implementation is going to go smoothly and done properly. Kulik would explain that, our managers are also very important because, they're the ones who plan, organize, staff, and direct. They're the ones who are ensuring that this process is actually going to be happening. And when this is all happening, there has to be a direct line of communication between the managers and the workers. When there is that direct communication, everyone understands the process that's actually needed because there is an effective conversation among one another for that to happen. And this is also through a top-down approach because our managers, again, are the ones who are implementing, informing everyone, all of the workers, what is needed to get done. And Barnard would agree that this type of line of communication is needed in order to start this caseload, standardized caseload processing. For our second theme, it's going to be motivation. And motivation is a big factor that's going to assist with the standardized caseload processing. First is through, informing the workers or employees, how is this caseload processing going to benefit them? How is this going to improve their caseload work and the benefits of that? It's just informing them that if they can succeed in processing this process, it's just going to be very beneficial for the future and for their casework. It's going to reduce everything for them. And for that, that's going to just motivate them, They're going to have that sense of, what, I need to get this done. And in order for me to get this done, we need to do this and this and this. But, there needs to be that communication with the workers and managers. In that, we have that reciprocal relationship and that open line of communication. In this process of the standardized caseload, if there's not things going down correctly, the workers need to make sure that they're voicing their opinions of what is wrong and how can that get approved. And in order for that to happen, there has to be a reciprocal relationship, as Follett would agree that, this is going to solve all problems because this is not just a top-down approach. This is through everyone in the organization that can make the difference. And for that process to happen, we have to ensure that the managers don't have a one-view opinion about our workers. We want to make sure that our managers or believing that everyone can, do the best work that they can. They don't have this type of assumption, like McGregor would say, like this theory X, that, workers are lazy, workers don't want to, participate just to improve this type of standardized casework. We want to make sure that our managers are there for our employees, just making sure that things are actually moving through. For our last theme, it is efficiency. And in efficiency in itself, the main goal is to ensure that you're maximizing production and reducing the costs and resources. One of the big resources is, the workers themselves. They're pushing down as much application that they can, but it's just being overwhelming, stressful for them. So in this process, we want to see what can we do for our workers, what changes can be made. And in order for those changes to be made, it's not going to happen overnight. There needs to be a way to implement these new ideas slowly and then pilot them and just determining what is working. And we're going to be presented with multiple options, and we're not going to find this one best way. We're going to have to work through them and ensure that we're finding something that's working for us, that's satisfying. And this is going to happen through bounded rationalities, these type of decisions that are happening in this process. And not only that, but it's going to take time. There are going to be different changes. As Lindblom would say, we're going to be muddling through this process as we're making these decisions to ensure that this caseload processing is being efficient for the organization. In conclusion, organization is going to be one of our first themes, and in this process, we're going to have our managers who will be conducting more of a top-down approach, ensuring that there's an effective line of communication, to make sure that there's directing, organizing, staffing to implement this standardized caseload processing. They're the ones who are we primarily going to be focusing on to ensure that this is happening. Next, we need to make sure that we have this motivation in there, because this is going to be primarily for our workers or our peers, because they're the ones who are actually doing the work. They're the ones that need to be motivated, and for them to be motivated, they have to understand the benefits of this. Like, what are they getting out of that? But not only just the benefits, but are they getting that reciprocal relationship with their managers? Are they having that open line of communication? Because for someone who's doing the actual work, they need to be able to voice their opinions, to speak up whenever there's a situation, to feel comfortable being in that workplace. And then finally, we have efficiency. And efficiency is going to continue the process of standardized casework. This process isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, and it's going to be some muddling through, because they have to determine what is the best option. In this process, is going to be more of a decision making, the efficiency part. What can be done in order to ensure that everything's being done efficiently. And that was the end of the presentation. Thank you guys very much for listening. I hope you guys have a great week.